Her knees ached every morning before her feet even touched the floor. Elaine, 72, used to be the type of woman who walked to the farmer's market, danced at weddings, and knelt beside her grandkids without a second thought. But after the pandemic, that all changed. The joint pain got so bad she could barely step off her porch. Her once smooth skin looked dull and tired. Her hands, those same hands that once braided her daughter's hair, were now stiff, sore, and dry no matter how much lotion she used. She tried everything: fish oil, glucosamine, collagen pills that cost as much as her grocery bill. Nothing worked. Her doctor offered cortisone shots. She didn't want needles. Her daughter suggested physical therapy. She could barely make it through the door. One night, scrolling on her iPad at 2 a.m., she found an old photo of her grandmother standing in the kitchen, smiling over a steaming pot of soup. She remembered the smell: rich, savory, slow-simmered with bones, roots, herbs. Back then, they called it supper. Now, we call it collagen broth. And here's the twist. That old-fashioned soup her grandma made, it did what the pills couldn't. Elaine started making it again. At first, just once a week. Then every few days. 3 weeks later, she could step out of bed without gripping the nightstand. Her skin? Brighter. Her hands? Less swollen. Her knees? Not perfect, but no longer screaming. It wasn't magic. It was marrow. What seemed like folklore, an old woman's tradition, turned out to be one of the most powerful, science-backed ways to restore collagen, fight inflammation, and rebuild from the inside out. So if you're over 60, frustrated with creaky joints, thinning skin, or just tired of throwing money at bottles that don't deliver, this message is for you. Because today, we're pulling the lid off the collagen soup secrets that traditional Chinese medicine has known for centuries, and modern science is finally catching up to confirm. Stay with me, because in a few minutes, I'll show you how to turn a humble pot of broth into a skin-reviving, joint-restoring powerhouse, with a few ingredients most Americans overlook. Your next bowl of soup might just change everything. Let's talk about why this works. Why did Elaine's grandmother's soup succeed where modern pills failed? Well, in traditional Chinese medicine, aging isn't just a matter of birthdays. It's a slow draining of your body's vital energy, known as Jing. Think of Jing like your internal savings account. You're born with a certain amount. How you live, how well you eat, rest, and recover determines how fast you spend it. When Jing runs low, the signs show up everywhere. Dry, sagging skin, cracking knees, low energy, even memory fog. And here's the fascinating part. In Chinese medicine, food isn't just fuel, it's medicine. Especially soups, especially slow ones. They believe these broths can replenish Jing, nourish your blood, and bring warmth back into the body. Not just warmth you feel, but warmth your cells respond to. Modern science, as it turns out, is starting to agree. When you simmer animal bones, tendons, and skin for hours, you unlock something incredible: collagen. But not in its raw, hard-to-digest form. The long, gentle simmering process transforms collagen into gelatin. From there, it breaks down into glycine, proline, and hydroxyproline, amino acids your body knows exactly how to use. They don't just float around aimlessly. They become the building blocks your body uses to repair joints, hydrate skin, and even support sleep and digestion. Western researchers now confirm what grandmas across Asia have known for generations. A slow pot of soup can restore what aging tries to take away. And that brings us to the first, and perhaps most surprising, collagen-rich recipe that changed everything for Elaine. Let me show you what was in her pot. Soup number 1. Chicken foot plus red peanut stew. Linda wasn't a complainer. She had spent 32 years teaching high school English in the foothills of North Carolina. Rain or shine, she showed up. She raised 3 kids, planted 2 gardens, and never missed a PTA meeting. But after recovering from COVID in her early 70s, something was different. Her back ached every morning. Her knees felt like rusted hinges. The fatigue didn't lift, not after sleep, not after coffee. She told her daughter, "I feel like a faded version of myself." She missed her old energy. Her posture slumped. Her once glowing skin turned dry and dull. She had always been the strong one, the helper, the doer. Now, even walking through the grocery store felt like wading through water. She tried pain meds. They dulled the edge, but not the ache. Her doctor mentioned injections. She hesitated. Then, during a casual chat with her acupuncturist, something unexpected came up. Chicken foot stew, he said gently, handing her a handwritten recipe. She blinked. You're giving me a soup instead of medicine? It's what your grandmother might have used. He smiled, and science is finally catching up. At first, she was skeptical, but she made it anyway. One pot, simmering on a quiet Sunday. What's so special about chicken feet? In traditional Chinese medicine, chicken feet are more than scraps. They're treasure. They nourish the kidneys, which are believed to store your body's core energy, or jing. When your jing is depleted, whether by age, stress, or illness, you feel in your joints, your skin, even your mood. Chicken feet are rich in collagen, especially type I and type 2, the kind that helps rebuild cartilage and keep skin supple. But you have to cook them slowly. Only then does the collagen melt into gelatin, releasing glycine, proline, and glucosamine, amino acids that directly support the body's repair process. Western science confirms this. Studies show that glucosamine and chondroitin, found naturally in simmered chicken feet, can reduce joint pain, improve knee function, and enhance mobility, especially in adults over 50. And then there are the peanuts. Not the dry-roasted kind, but red peanuts, skin on. In TCM, they nourish the blood and support the spleen, vital for energy, circulation, and that youthful glow. Red peanuts also contain healthy fats and resveratrol-like antioxidants that calm chronic inflammation, one of the hidden drivers of aging. Ginger and red dates finish the mix, warming the digestive system, improving circulation, and helping the body absorb all those nutrients. After 3 weeks of having this soup twice a week, Linda noticed something strange. She could kneel in the garden again. Her hands felt steadier, less swollen. Her back didn't bark at her every time she stood. And her daughter? Mom, she said one day, your skin looks healthier, softer. How to make Linda's collagen revival soup. 6 to 8 cleaned chicken feet, claws removed. 3.5-ounce red peanuts, soaked 1 to 2 hours. 2 slices fresh ginger. 2 dried red dates or a handful of goji berries. 6 to 8 cups water. 1 teaspoon apple cider vinegar. Sea salt to taste. Steps. 1. Blanch chicken feet in boiling water for 2 minutes. Rinse. 2. Combine all ingredients in a large pot. 3. Simmer for 1.5 to 2 hours or 30 minutes in a pressure cooker. 4. Add sea salt at the end. 5. Let it cool. If it turns jelly-like in the fridge, that's a great sign. That's collagen. This wasn't just soup. It was restoration in a bowl. Next, we'll meet someone who needed even deeper support and found it in a tougher, slower simmering cut, tendon and oxtail. Are you ready? Who should drink this soup? So who exactly is this soup for? If you're waking up stiff before your feet even hit the floor, if your skin feels dry no matter how much moisturizer you use, if your nails are brittle, your hair thinning, or your energy dips like clockwork every afternoon, this may be more than just getting older. In traditional Chinese medicine, these are the red flags of jing depletion, a slow draining of your body's foundational vitality. And while Western medicine might call it hormonal shifts, inflammation, or collagen loss, the outcome feels the same. You don't feel like yourself. That's why this collagen-rich soup isn't just comfort food, it's strategic nourishment. It's ideal for women in perimenopause or menopause, when hormonal changes accelerate collagen breakdown. Adults recovering from long illnesses like COVID, where inflammation lingers and healing feels slow. Anyone dealing with chronic joint pain, especially in the knees, hips, or hands. People noticing visible aging, sagging skin, fine lines, or that tired, hollow look. If creams aren't helping, if supplements feel like throwing money into the wind, try the wisdom of slow food. Start with 1 bowl. Your body may just remember what real healing feels like. Soup number 2, beef tendon or oxtail broth. The first time I met Mr. Koji, he walked into my clinic like a man twice his age. Once a proud high school athlete, broad-shouldered, quick on his feet, he now moves slowly, carefully. always rubbing his knees, always shifting in his chair. "Doctor," he said with a weak smile, "the pain's not unbearable. It's just constant. It's aging me." He tried physical therapy, ice packs, over-the-counter pain meds, but nothing stuck. And what hurt the most wasn't his joints. It was what they represented. A loss of freedom, a quiet fear of becoming fragile. So I said something unexpected. "Let's try feeding your joints, not just medicating them." He raised an eyebrow. "With what?" "Oxtail soup," I said. He laughed. "That's something my grandmother used to make. I haven't touched it in 40 years. But he agreed to try, reluctantly at first. That Sunday, he simmered a pot. By Monday, he'd made a ritual. Here's why it worked. The science of slow food. Beef tendon and oxtail are rich in type I and type 3 collagen, the very proteins that give skin its elasticity and bones their strength. When slow simmered, the tough connective tissue transforms into gelatin, releasing glycine, glucosamine, and chondroitin, compounds proven to rebuild joint cartilage, support mobility, and reduce inflammation. One clinical study published in the Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that older adults who consumed collagen peptides daily saw improvements in skin firmness and joint function within 8 weeks. But this isn't just science, it's also tradition. In traditional Chinese medicine, there's a saying, "Eat tendon to build tendon." That's not folklore, it's physiology. Oxtail and beef tendon are said to warm the body, nourish blood, and tonify qi, your internal life force. They're ideal for people with cold hands and feet, deep fatigue, or lower back and knee pain. The very signs of aging Mr. Koji carried. How to prepare it right. To make this soup properly, here's what I taught Mr. Koji and what I'll share with you. Why not start with clean, quality ingredients? Use grass-fed beef tendon or oxtail. These cuts are dense with collagen, but also where toxins can concentrate, so cleaner is better. 2. Blanch the meat in boiling water for 2 to 3 minutes to remove surface impurities. Rinse well. 3. Add to a soup pot with slices of fresh ginger, garlic, 8 cups of water, and 1 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar. This is key to help extract the collagen. 4. Simmer low and slow. 3 to 5 hours is ideal, or 1 hour in a pressure cooker. 5. Skim off any foam during cooking. When the broth cools and turns slightly jelly-like, you'll know it's rich in collagen. And if you want to boost the nutritional power, add vegetables like daikon, carrots, or leafy greens in the last 30 minutes. Mr. Koji's update. 3 months later, I laugh more, his wife said. He even plays with our granddaughter again. And his skin? It glows more than mine. That's the beauty of this soup. It doesn't just restore your joints. It restores your life. What makes this work? Collagen-rich soup is powerful, yes, but here's the part most people miss. Collagen alone isn't enough. Think of collagen like the bricks to rebuild your body. But without builders, without the right nutrients to put those bricks in place, nothing gets restored. That's where these key players come in. Vitamin C. This is your ignition switch. Without it, your body can't even begin making collagen. Add a squeeze of lemon, a handful of spinach, or bell peppers to your broth for a natural boost. Zinc. Found in pumpkin seeds, beans, and poultry. Zinc helps form strong, stable collagen fibers and supports wound healing. Crucial for aging skin and achy joints. Copper. Present in mushrooms, sesame seeds, and dark leafy greens. Copper strengthens both collagen and elastin, the 2 proteins that keep skin firm and flexible. This is why many collagen powders disappoint. They often lack the full nutrient package your body needs to turn peptides into progress. That's why people spend a fortune and still feel the same. But your soup? That could be different. Additions like sweet potatoes, rich in beta-carotene, carrots, goji berries, and turmeric bring anti-inflammatory benefits and antioxidant support, amplifying the effect of your broth from the inside out. So remember, it's not just the bone. It's what simmers beside it. How to know it's working? What can you expect, realistically? Within 2 to 8 weeks, many people notice plumper, more hydrated skin, especially around the cheeks and eyes. Easier movement, especially in the knees, hips, and hands. Deeper sleep, better energy, fewer creaking mornings. Linda returned to her garden. Mr. Koji chased his granddaughter across the lawn. It won't happen overnight, but little by little, something shifts. You don't just feel younger. You feel more you again. What if you're allergic to peanuts or avoiding red meat? You're not out of luck. In fact, some of the most collagen-rich traditions in the world come from the sea. Try a fish head or fish skin soup. Yes, it may sound intimidating, but these parts are packed with marine collagen, the kind that's highly bioavailable and particularly good for skin. If you're mostly plant-based, try a healing broth made from shiitake mushrooms, kombu seaweed, tofu, and warming herbs like ginger and turmeric. While it won't contain animal collagen, it still nourishes the body, reduces inflammation, and supports your system's natural collagen production, especially when paired with vitamin C and zinc-rich vegetables. There's always a path, and often it's been simmering quietly all along. Cautions. A quick word of care before you dive in. If you have gout, keep peanut intake low or skip them altogether. Opt for tendon or fish-based versions instead. Always source the cleanest, organic animal parts you can. Collagen collects in connective tissue, but so can toxins. And if you got a sensitive stomach, start slow. Collagen can be rich. Begin with small portions and let your digestion adjust. This isn't about rushing healing. It's about rebuilding gently, steadily, deeply. This is not just soup. At its core, this isn't just about soup. It's about slowing down in a world that pushes you to rush. It's about standing over a pot, not just to cook, but to listen to your body, to remember what it's asking for. These recipes aren't just nutrition. They're rituals, passed from one generation to the next, in kitchens lit by love, not clinics lit by fluorescent bulbs. Your grandmother may not have had a degree in nutrition, but she knew something many modern doctors forget. That healing doesn't always come in a bottle. It comes in moments, in nourishment, in warmth, in consistency. You're not falling apart. You're responding to years of depletion. Now, you're choosing to rebuild, and that's powerful. So as the broth simmers, breathe deep. Stir slowly. Let the steam rise and remind you. You're not broken. You're just beginning again. You don't need powders. You don't need expensive treatments. You don't even need to get everything perfect. You need a stove, a pot, and a couple hours a week. That's it. Want to feel younger? Stronger? Like yourself again? Start with the soup. Stick with it. Let your body remember what healing feels like. Not forced, not rushed, but real. If this message resonated with you, make sure you're subscribed, because this is just the first step, and you don't want to miss what's coming next.